Hi everyone, I'm Gian and today I'm going to talk about my IELTS experience. I took my speaking test on the 6th of April and the day afterwards I took my listening and writing exam. I booked with IDP and I took the exam in Cebu, while some of my friends booked with the British Council and took their exam in Tacloban City. So some people are asking, are we gonna book with IDP or are we gonna book with British Council? There's not much difference really, but IDP had a master's review class 2 days before the actual exam, so they gave like a review of the whole process and gave tips on how to pass the exam, and I think that was really helpful. And also IDP provides individual headphones during the exam. However, with the British Council you have one single speaker, or I don't know, maybe but there's just a speaker in the room, a boom box in the room, and you don't have masterclass reviews. So I guess that's a big difference. And also for IDP, with the fee that we paid, we had a buffet afterwards, and we paid like 13,000 pesos something. And I think the ones who took the non-UK VI IELTS just paid around 10,000. So I guess that's the difference. And also IDP provided extra pencils and an eraser, if that matters to you. So I guess that's the difference between the two exams. But for all the rest, it's the same, although you get different proctors and interviewers. So for my speaking exam, my question for part 2 was about the most exciting book that I have read and why I find it exciting and what was it all about and how has it influenced me. Meantime, one of my friends who took the exam in Tacloban, his question was different. He was asked what activities did he do that he did not like, he did not spend any amount of money at all. And then the guy who went before me had a question that was related to the environment. So part 2 really varies. However, for listening and writing, we had the same set of questions. As for writing, we were given a line graph for part 1, for task 1. So it was about 4 telecommunication companies in one country, and how much did they spend per month from January to September, something like that. And it was kind of tricky because for me, like, whoa, that's like a lot of months to explain, number 1. And then number 2, how can I stretch this to 150 words? And then number 3, my lexical resource was really low. Like, I would just repeat the same words all over again. Give, paid, expenses, allocated. And how could I diversify it? And another thing was, I was so used to exercises in percentage that instead of writing 5 euros, I would say 5%. So I got confused in that. I think my brain is really confused all along the exam, because for reading, for example, instead of writing yes, I wrote true. So guys, you have to be careful of that one. It's good that I did a review before I submitted my paper, because if not, I would have flunked it. And another one was for writing task 2. We were asked about our two opinions on government taxes being paid for arts and cultural activities. And of course I had this question before when I was doing exercises in the review center, but it had to do more on education, so I started off writing by education, which includes arts and culture in their curriculum. And then I read the question again. I was like, whoa, I was on my third paragraph already when I reread the question. I was like, there's no mention of education here. It's just government funding. It's just taxpayers' money financing arts and culture. So I got lost there as well. So guys, I think you just have to be careful in you know, not carrying over what you have reviewed, because for me those are my weakest points. Like, because I was so used to true false, so I answered true false instead of yes no, and then and then because I was so used to percentage, I started answering in percentage instead of euros. And because I was used to the education question, I started putting education instead of, you know, government financing or government allocation. So guys, when you're taking the exam, just take a deep breath. And this is a skills-based test. It's not like knowledge-based that you have to memorize things and you're sure you're gonna get the answer. It's just the thing is, and what's really frustrating about the IELTS exam is that everything is given to you. Like, when you're doing listening, all the answers are there. We're doing reading, all the answers are there. So if I don't get like a 7 on listening and reading, I would be so frustrated because everything is there. But, well, I would forgive myself for speaking because I prattled a lot, because I got so excited when they asked me about the most exciting book that I've read. And of course I had to prattle about the instrumentality of mankind. Whoops. And for writing, it's under time pressure. I'm a writer and I'm so used to writing like really long articles, but for IELTS has a different approach to this essay questions. Like, I remember growing up during elementary and high school that we are encouraged to use like highfalutin words, like words that are leveled up and advanced, and you would probably need a dictionary just to check it because it's not your basic English word. But then came after college, and I started writing for different outlets, like for blogs and online articles and SEO articles, and they would tell me to make it simpler, use short sentences and use simple words. So I started, my writing style shifted, and now I'm training my brain to shift back to using words that I haven't used for a long time. Although if I read them on a book or hear someone talking about it, I definitely would understand those words easily. But when I have to write them down and I don't use these words regularly on a daily basis, that is tough. Because if I don't have time to go back and proofread my article, then I won't have any chance of leveling up my lexical resource. So guys, I don't know if this is possible for you to write under, like, maybe write 250 words in 30 minutes and 150 words in 10 minutes. So you would have those extra 20 minutes to plump up your article and refine them and proofread for redundancy and use more complicated synonyms. I think that would beef up your score for the writing exam. So I wish you luck, guys, and result is coming out at the end of this month. So I hope I get a 7, a band 7. That's all I need. Nothing less, but definitely more would work good for me. So if you have any questions on my tips and tricks and how to answer it, I definitely want to help you. It's so easy, guys. And actually, I regretted going to review center because I could have done this all by myself. It's so easy. I didn't need to spend that much money on review because it's so just something that you could do on your own. I'm not saying that, of course it depends upon the level of the English speaker or learner, but it's something that you could do on your own. Okay, goodbye.